Hi guys, welcome to Wiki Movie Channel. This time we decided to prepare a selection of the best detectives of the 21st century. This top includes some films that some of you probably saw, but for the next top we already prepared some movies that you might have missed. Stay tuned. So, let's not waste any time and begin. The Da Vinci Code. Harvard professor of the religion history and iconography Robert is in Paris for work, and after an urgent call in the middle of the night, he arrives at the Louvre, where the old curator of the museum was killed. An encrypted note was found near the body of the murdered, and the keys are hidden in the works of Leonardo da Vinci. Robert meets the cryptographer Sophie, and together they are trying to uncover a secret that could undermine the power of the Catholic Church. This movie successfully combines two genres, thriller and detective. Therefore, it will appeal to both fans of action-packed films with chases and shootings and lovers of detective stories of secrets and riddles. The movie was not highly appreciated by professional critics, but ordinary viewers were happy to go to the cinemas and watch it, and the fees increased the budget by 6 times. 10th place, The Da Vinci Code. Zodiac. In the summer of '69, a couple of lovers were shot by an unknown person in the suburbs of San Francisco. Soon, a letter came to the local newspaper with an attached cryptogram. The author, who signed himself with the name Zodiac, took responsibility for this and other murders and promised to kill more if the letter was not published on the front page. However, after publication, the killing continued. New letters also came to the additional office. Inspector David is professionally engaged in the capture of this killer. A newspaper reporter Paul and illustrator Robert are also involved in the investigation. Professional critics liked this movie, but not the ordinary viewers. The movie feels more like documentary because of the intensity of the events and the dynamics of development. It's more about the police work, but if you're interested in learning the story of one of the most famous maniacs of America and plunge into the special atmosphere recreated by the director David Fincher, then this movie is for you, and it's worth paying attention to. 9th place, Zodiac. Wind River. A professional hunter, Corey, finds the corpse of a local girl, a former friend of his deceased daughter, near the Windy River Indian Reservation. The local police can't find the culprit on their own and ask for help from the FBI. They sent Agent Jane Brenner to the reservation. However, the girl quickly realized that she can't cope without Corey's help and asked for help in her investigation. This is a fluid, atmospheric film, in addition to the intriguing detective story, also offers a strong dramatic one. The movie definitely leaves an impression and will appeal primarily to those who love tough, dark, and partly depressing movies. 8th place, Wind River. Prisoners. During Thanksgiving, the two close families, Dover and Breach, lose their young daughters. The eldest son of one of the victims remembered seeing an old park van nearby, and this becomes the starting point in the investigation. However, the father of the Doe family can't wait in doing nothing, and takes up the search of the missing girl. This is a dark, atmospheric, rather clever detective thriller. Events develop very quickly, but at the same time, the movie keeps the viewer in suspense, throwing new clues to think about. 7th place, Prisoners. Red Dragon. FBI agent Will leaves the service after he was seriously injured on duty, but in a few years later he is dragged into a new investigation. A serial killer appeared in the city. To catch the maniac, Will has to ask Hannibal Lecter for help. The film belongs to a cycle of movies based on a novel of Thomas Harris and telling about the most famous movie fancier, Hannibal Lecter, nicknamed Hannibal. This film appeared the third in a row, but it's about the earliest period of Hannibal, and long before the events shown in the masterpiece Silence of the Lambs, an excellent thriller with an interesting detective story, vivid acting work, and tense atmosphere. 6th place, Red Dragon. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. There are two excellent adaptations of the novel with the same name by Stieg Larsson, but at first I want to mention the Swedish one. Not because David Fincher version is bad, but because in the production of Niels Uplift there is more of that Scandinavian gloom, a special northern atmosphere that is so combined with the aura of detective about mysterious murders. So, according to the plot, a very rich man lost his niece a long time ago. The murder was never properly investigated, and besides, the killer managed to send flowers once a year, thereby wounding the old man hurt. The millionaire hires a journalist known for a scandalous investigation. But the truth is that the court loser in one of these cases, a very peculiar hacker girl, come to his aid. Together, they're trying to figure out a case that is already several decades old. 5th place, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Gone Girl. On the 5th wedding anniversary, Nick discovers that his wife Amy has disappeared, and in their house located in a small town in Missouri, traces of a struggle are clearly visible. It can be clearly seen that their marriage is full of romance and unbridled love. This is an incredible high-quality movie that successfully combines a romantic story, deep personal drama, and of course, a cool detective story. 4th place, Gone Girl. Memento. The plot of the movie unfolds in the reverse order. Leonard is looking for a murderer and rapist of his wife. Everything that came before this fatal event and the murder itself forever stuck in his head. But then the brain crashed. After the shock experience, the hero is unable to remember what is happening to him for more than a few minutes. Like a madman, he rushes in his luxury car to cheap motels, wanders in a vicious circle, making the names of suspects and witnesses on Polaroid photographs and scarps of paper, and the most important conclusion, with tattoos on his own body. This film by Christopher Nolan was not the debut work of a talented director, but it became the first movie that brought great popularity and opened the way to big-budget films and cooperation with large movie companies. Nolan was able to present the familiar genre of detective in the original manner of reverse storyline, and it turned out very interesting. 3rd place, Memento. Knives Out. Novelist Harlan Thrombey turns 85. On the occasion of holiday, he gathers the large family in the mansion. The celebration is calm, but at the end of the day, the old man is found with his throat cut in his room. Suicide is evident. The next day, the police arrives in the house and take turns interrogating each of the relatives of the deceased. During the conversation, it turns out that almost everyone's relationship with Harlan was ruined, and anyone could commit the murder. But the detective Benedict Blanc, who is hired by an anonymous author with a request to find the killer, is connected to the investigation. The film has a lot of humor and cost, and some really unexpected twists and turns. This movie is both stylish dramatic comedy and a smart detective in the style of classic works called whodunit genre. 2nd place, Knives Out. Shutter Island. The middle of the last century, 2 federal marshals, Teddy and Chuck, float through the fog to the Shutter Island, where the hospital for the most dangerous madmen is located. They were sent to the island to find out of the patients who drowned her 4 children. However, for Teddy, she is just an excuse. In fact, he had been looking for an opportunity to visit this prison for a long time. The culprit of his wife's death is sitting here somewhere. However, the heads of the hospital don't like their investigation. This movie is one of the brightest works of Martin Scorsese, which attracts the attention from the very first minute, and the further, the more it drowns into an atmosphere of madness. A fascinating detective story with a gorgeous psychological thriller, definitely one of the best representatives of the genre. 1st place, Shutter Island. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. Share your movie impressions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and put the big thumbs up. See you. Bye.